I'm addicted to drawing. I obsess over art every single day. It wasn't always like this though, so I'm going to tell you about the very exact moment when I stopped drawing. Not for one day or a week, but for a full 3 months. More importantly though, I was able to completely reverse my mindset and trajectory just by following some key principles. Now let's get into the story. It all started with a League of Legends video by Deiv Calviz, specifically the Cafe Cuties Gwyn splash art time-lapse. And when I saw this for the first time, I was stoked, I was amazed. I'd never considered drawing until I saw this exact video. The way he was thumbnailing and doing value compositions was something I'd never seen before. Immediately, I knew that I needed to try it no matter what. So, I went to order a sketchbook from Amazon, and in a few days, it was here. Now, you'd expect me to search up immediately, how do you get good at art, so I can be able to draw like he was. But I didn't, because I'd been doing it all the way the prior week, waiting for the package to arrive. That's how excited I was. I booted up Drawbox, and I got to work drawing my boxes. I did planes, boxes, perspective, and my favorite exercise, the texture exercise, which I would highly recommend for any skill level. It's a lot of fun. I would spend 2 hours every single day slowly going through the exercises. I was having a ton of fun, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. From the very beginning, my exercises were coming out very slowly, and it's because I was nervous to make bad lines or make bad drawings. So I would procrastinate and watch more tutorials and waste more time on a blank page, and I'd only spend a max of 30 minutes out of the 2 hours I'd set aside to draw actually drawing. However, something changed when summer break arrived. I had all the free time in the world to draw to my heart's content. When the first day of summer came, I decided I wanted to take a break from drawing every day. So I put my sketchbook in a drawer and didn't open it for a while. Suddenly school was back and I hadn't drawn for an entire 2.5 months. Then I got back to drawing every day, right? Well, kind of. I did get back to drawing every single day, but there was a major issue with it. My drive returned, but my approach didn't change. At the time, I didn't realize that I had a bad mindset, and this lasted for 1.5 years. And I can quickly summarize these dark times as me being hellbent on improving, and it consisted of a large amount of value studies, as well as tracing drawings and recreating photo studies. My enjoyment with art was slowly fading day after day, so if this sounds familiar, keep watching. I think I can help you. Issue number 1, lack of personal work. Personal work is the foundation of all art. I know, hot take, creative expression is supposed to be personal. Here's the thing. During my 3 months drawing sprint at the very beginning, I did a total of 2 personal drawings, and they were both done on my very first day. And only because I was told to in a video. Now, if you don't know, this is terrible. Without a personal goal, all of my studies, which should have been supplementary, they're essentially useless because there's no endpoint that I'm going towards. It's just an endless grind of studies for the sake of grinding studies. And I'd forgotten what my original goal was. Once you remember that the original goal of your art is creative expression, whether that's anime, manga, comics, sculptures, or even 3D modeling, you'll realize that the goal of studying these practices is to improve the personal work, not to improve the exercises. The ideal workflow would be to create a personal work, or a dream picture, as it's called in some communities, and after you're done, see what you don't like about it, then study that specific skill, and then try again at another personal work, and see if you've improved from the study. And if you want to keep improving that, try it again. Rinse and repeat. Here's another thing. Things like animation, manga, and comics are all things that need to be practiced in and of themselves. They can't be abstracted out onto exercises. One last thing for issue number 1. The process of transforming your ideas into actual completed pieces on the page is an exercise in and of itself. It is only possible by practicing it. So this includes things like your process, or what brushes you use, or how you generate ideas, or how you get through long periods on the same piece. Issue number 2, permission seeking. Looking for permission before you try a new medium, style, or a subject is usually procrastination. Your mind is doing it, so it feels safe to try something and fail. I'm gonna say it. Just do it. And tell yourself that you're going to be okay with the outcome, no matter how it looks. Because it's an experiment at the end of the day. You are trying something. You're not committing to it for the rest of your art career. No one is saying that the moment you attempt watercolors, you have to permanently become a watercolor artist, change all your social media posts and your portfolios online. You know that's not the case. You just needed someone else to say it. So here's what I'm going to say. Assume all permissions are granted. Start the idea that pops into your mind. Save all the judgments for after the drawing is completed, not before. And if you were to do this, a lot more drawing would get done and a lot less time wasted thinking about whether or not you'll try the idea that's been bugging you the entire day. Also, as a little bonus, experimenting is one of the best things I can do, in my experience, to improve. Looking at something that you've done in a way you didn't like and attempting a different way is, for me at least, foundational to improving at drawing. Trying to figure out what rules create the kind of art that I want to make. And so I have to try different systems, moving hue and saturation and tone to try to find out which one makes the drawing that I like and looks the way I want it to look. So, experiment fast and experiment hard. All right, here's the secret part of the video for everyone who made it to the end. It's a rebuttal. Some people who see this video are going to argue, oh, if I never do studies and I only do what's fun, I'm never going to leave my comfort zone and I'm never going to get better. Truly the modern artist's dilemma. Here's the thing though. Improvement in studies is not easy. Masters are able to make studies that look masterful because they've attempted studies year after year ever since they started, picking up small improvements over the years, not because they grinded all at once and understood everything immediately. Value studies are something I did when I started, something I did when I was burning out, and something I still have to come back to today, and I'm going to have to come back to next year, and next year, slowly picking up pieces year after year, and then adding it into my art. They're supposed to be slow progress. If it was easy, everybody would have just perfected them first, and then immediately just gone to create their personal work and been masterful at it from the beginning. But that's not what we see. You can find some artists who studied from the very beginning like I did and continued that for years and years, but they usually burn out and then they hate drawing and they never create the amazing things that they dreamed of or had ideas of. It's just, we don't see it. And you already know this. So here's the question. Why do you insist on comparing yourself to the studies that are created by 20-year industry veterans with art degrees? This is obvious in hindsight, but when you're stuck in a narrow mindset, these things can evade you. So my solution is relax, draw with intent,